Hey everybody, welcome into Northern Life here with just Ryan today.
Just Ryan?
Yeah, just Ryan. And then that sounds bad. It's not just Ryan.
No, I know.
It's just Ryan.
It just reminded,
thank you.
It reminded me of the Barbie movie where it's just Ken. Yeah.
I'm just Ryan.
Just me today. Yep.
Well, I'm Briggs, and thank you so much for joining us on this Friday. And thank you to Ryan, too, for bearing with me the other day, because we were just talking about the 9% of Americans who never take their sick day. And then the very next day, I woke up just feeling nasty.
It was such a funny text because I'm like, we literally just talked about this.
Know.
And Briggs is I'm glad you utilized the sick day.
Thank you, because I was worried that you were going to think I was like faking it because I got it in my head or something. I'm like, this guy is not going to believe me.
No. How about we can make a truce now that if you have a sick day, I won't question it. If I have a sick day, you won't question it.
I appreciate it.
Even if we are sick or not. Yeah.
Well, we don't have any Hunter for the next few days as he's having a ton of fun making his way down to Memphis for a big road trip.
I know. Hunter sent us these photos. He's in Palmyra, Missouri, which is about 8 hours away. Stopped at a gas station, looking like an absolute stud on that fake motorcycle. We can confirm he is not traveling by motorcycle down to Memphis.
Oh, that would be too funny. But he's in for a treat. He's got a whole lot of fun planned on his agenda. I believe he said he's stopping by Graceland, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Loretta Lynn's house and a whole lot of other music-themed things on their agenda down there.
Should be a lot of fun.
I love Hunter trip.
Yeah, I love country music too, and so the fact he's going to Nashville, he's going to Memphis, and all these other places, quite jealous to say the least.
Absolutely, going to be a blast. Well, coming up on today's show, basketball fans are getting ready for a big night in women's basketball with the Final Four games taking place. And since it's Friday, we're going to be sharing our top 5 all-time sports moments.
Yeah, April is also a great month for sports. I mean, we got playoffs coming. We got the Final Four here. Baseball's already underway.
The NFL draft.
NFL draft later this month.
A little something for everyone.
Love April. And later, we'll be sharing what time you can find the two of us over at the Duluth Home and Builder Show this weekend at the deck. And if you need a new job for the college kids out there, Hormel is back with another nutty offer, let's say.
Oh, boy.
But let's get into today's talkers. So the other day, our friends Hoda and Jenna on the Today Show were talking about the things that are currently dividing folks on the internet.
Okay.
And some of the topics were kind of normal, some of them were pretty strange. And so I think we have 2 normal ones and maybe an odd one. But let's start off with the first topic. Briggs, question for you.
Okay.
Is it wrong to pull and grab items from the back of the shelf while you're grocery shopping? Maybe the more fresh items that are on the back of the shelf.
Well, for me, that's just impossible, Ryan, because I'm short.
so
there is no reaching. No, I can't reach to the back. So I'm always grabbing from the front. But I don't think it's bad. I think if you're the first one to the store and you want to, sift through what's back there for a better expiration date, maybe. More power to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can reach though, so do you do it?
Oh, I for sure do all the looking. If I'm at Costco and I love Caesar salads, by the way.
Yes.
I'm a huge Caesar salad guy.
Good.
The ones in the back or the ones that are tucked away have a better expiration date. So people online were saying, is it rude to pick the ones that have a better expiration date, or should you, help the crowd out? I don't know who you'd be helping, maybe the next shopper, by taking the one that's going to expire sooner.
Put yourself first out there, people. Put yourself first.
It's called self-care.
Yeah, there you go. Do you think it's rude to climb up on the shelves to reach things up top? I would say yes.
Having formerly worked at Walmart, in case there's something empty on the store shelves, they usually keep it above on the top shelf.
Okay.
So, but I don't know how far I've ever had to climb to get something.
I've had to put my knee up a little bit, and then I get nervous because a worker came in the aisle and was probably just looking at me like, "Don't you dare!"
What were you grabbing?
I don't even remember, but it was something up on the top shelf, and it was back there, and I had to try to get it, and it didn't work out well. And I ended it when the store employee came up because I was like, I don't want to be responsible for knocking all this merchisdice.
It's going to be like one of the movies where everything the shelves just knock over one another, like you're in a library.
Ooh, clean up on aisle 4.
Clean up there. Hey, this next one was the odd one. Okay. So, Briggs, is it inconsiderate? I don't even know why this is a question. Is it inconsiderate to peel an orange on a plane?
I've never once thought about doing that, or maybe even had the opportunity.
You've never had the urge to peel an orange on a plane?
No, but I don't think that would be too rude. So people say it's because it smells?
Yeah, because obviously the smell it gives off, But here's the thing.
I think oranges smell good.
They smell great. If somebody was peeling an orange next to me on a plane, I would personally thank them.
Yeah, I would too. We used to go to a hotel once in Las Vegas, and I remember the smell was like orange smell. That was what they used as their cleaner, and it smelled so good.
Yeah.
I loved it. So I don't see the problem in peeling an orange.
And here's the thing too, here's the problem I have. If if somebody's bringing like a bag of fast food onto a plane, I think I'd have more of a problem with that. If they're stopping at the Taco Bell at MSP and they're bringing on that bag, I think I'd have more of a problem with that.
There's a lot worse smelling things that you could do. I mean, so I don't know how you feel about this, but sometimes I like fish. I bring salmon to work and I heat it up in the break room microwave.
That's a big no-no in my opinion.
I'm dead guilty of that, like often too.
We have a microwave in the creative office upstairs, and I think the fish was made in there once or heated up. It's a tough smell. I think it was Seth. I think it sounds like Director Seth did it.
He's admitting to it right now in our ears.
Yeah, it was. It's apparently smelled very bad. And let's get to the last one. Briggs, since you had a wedding in the past year, if your guests missed the wedding RSVP deadline, is it cool to uninvite them?
I just assume that they uninvited themselves at that point. You know, if you miss the deadline and you don't say yes or no, I'm assuming it's a no because you didn't care enough to say yes. But I did have some people who missed the deadline, and so we reached out to them and we're like, hey, are you planning on making it or not? And then they were like,
us or no?
Yeah, and all of them said, no, we're not planning on making it. So I think they just thought maybe it was like, that's how you RSVP no, is just by not saying anything.
Wow.
So I thought that was interesting. I didn't realize that was a thing. I think you have to go in and definitely say no if you're not going to go, especially to something like a wedding where they pay big bucks for food.
Especially when you get invited by the bride or the groom. That's a tough one. Very rude.
Well, according to a recent study, pollen allergies are worse than ever. Roughly 1 in 4 American adults are allergic to airborne irritants like pollen and mold. And unfortunately, that number is rising. The National Institutes of Health found over the last 30 years, pollen seasons have started about 20 days earlier and lasted 8 days longer. So I'm sorry for you.
Allergies, no fun.
Not at all. Coming up on Northern Life, it's a big night for Iowa tonight.
Welcome back, everybody, on this Friday. Basketball fans everywhere are in for a fantastic weekend of games. And starting tonight on the women's side, NCAA Women's Final Four ticket prices have surged in the recent days after Caitlin Clark's Iowa Hawkeyes beat the LSU Tigers. The wave of enthusiasm for Clark and her team has pushed the average ticket price for the all-day Women's Final Four in Cleveland tonight to more than $2,600. Minimum price just over $900. Most expensive, $11,000.
Holy buckets. That must be like a courtside seat or something. That's neat.
It's the price of a down payment on a small home. That's what that is.
Good gosh. So cool to see, the women's March Madness tournament getting, so much attention and notoriety this year, especially. You'd absolutely love to see it.
And Paige Beckers, too, going up against Caitlin Clark for UConn, the Minnesota native.
All right, that'll be fun to watch.
Certainly will.
Well, I actually saw the Minnesota Vikings posted a photo of Paige Beckers wearing a Minnesota Vikings jersey when she was young, saying, she used to root for us, now we're rooting for her. Good luck tonight, Paige. Yeah, cool. Super cool. Well, tonight, South Carolina and NC State will play at 6 p.m., and then UConn is going to take on Iowa around 8:30 p.m., as Caitlin Clark gets ready for another night in the spotlight. One dental student is sending her all sorts of support. Brian Dang has created a mosaic of Clark out of Rubik's Cubes. That is incredible.
It's impressive.
My gosh. He planned out a pixelated image, and then 720 Rubik's Cubes later, his masterpiece was complete, and it looks just like her.
It does, but I'm questioning how much is a Rubik's Cube, because 720 of them, that's a lot of money.
Well, based on the amount of attention she's been getting, I think he could probably auction that bad boy off for some
cash.
Some reimbursement there.
Yeah. I think a big Iowa fan, executive producer Ben possibly would be willing to drop some cash to buy that Rubik's Cube art.
We'll have to bring it to his attention. That's pretty cool. So that's how he did it there. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, piece by piece.
How big is it, I wonder?
It's got to be pretty big. It's like half his size. So
excuse me.
It should look cool on anybody's wall.
Absolutely.
Well, with a bunch of exciting matchups this weekend, we thought it'd be fun to pair them with our top 5 Friday list that we usually do. And so today we're answering the question, what are your top 5 all-time favorite sports moments, either personal to you or professional? So Briggs, we're going to start with your top 5 list.
I know, I love this one. This one's super exciting. I think this one probably overlaps on both of our lists, but I started off mine with the Minneapolis Miracle. When the Vikings played, I believe it was the Saints.
Yep. I think you were at that game, weren't you?
I was at that game back in 2018, I want to say it was. And it was just fantastic. Being in the stadium when Stephon Diggs made that catch and then ran into the end zone. Nobody thought that was going to happen. No. People had been leaving the stadium because they were just pretty sure, the game was over. So for the tables to turn that quickly and to be in the room for that, just
that it was loud.
Yeah, magical. Very loud.
Yeah.
Very emotional. Super cool. Number 2, I have Billie Jean King's Battle of the Sexes tennis match win. If you don't know too much about this, Billie Jean King, a very impressive female tennis player back in 1973, took on Bobby Riggs, who was previous men's champion from back in the day. But he was about 55 years old when he said something to the effect of he thought even then at 55 years old he had a better chance of beating the top women's players of the day.
Wow.
Because women's tennis just wasn't advancing. And so
Bobby.
Billie Jean took it to him on the court.
Wanted to see it straight sets out here.
It was 3 sets.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. So she won that match and really, set the stage for women's tennis and put it on the map and
Heck yeah.
showed him a little something or two about what women can do. So that was
Certainly.
really cool. Number 3 is a personal one to me. Back when I was one of the assistant coaches for the Duluth East girls tennis team, we went down to Elk River. And we had a big match. It was a section championship against them, and they were like a powerhouse team. So we didn't really know how it was going to go, if we were going to win. Duluth East ended up winning.
Nice.
Yeah, for sending the team to state for like the first time or the second time in program history. And it was a 8th grader who was the last one on the court, and it was up to her match. So she had a ton of pressure on her. She ended up winning, beating one of the best players in the state. It was incredible. So fun to watch.
Cool.
Number 4, a little local one here. Team Schuster taking gold in the Olympics. Back, I don't know, maybe 2 Winter Olympics ago. I think that was, but man, that was just so fun to watch and all the local pride. And then number 5, Caitlin Clark phenomenon with women's basketball and all of the fantastic advances she's made for women's sports too.
Certainly.
Yeah, what's on your list, right?
Let's see. Number 1, Game 163 at the Metrodome when I was a kid. I believe it was 2009. The Twins had to play an extra game against the Tigers for the AL Central game, and we won on a walk-off hit. So it was a lot of fun. I was there with my dad. Super loud environment. 2, I changed from the Minneapolis Miracle because I went to the game in Buffalo, that crazy game towards the end.
Yes.
Went with my father who grew up near Buffalo, so being at that game with him was super special. Number 3, as a kid, I hit a home run off Tyus Jones, who is now the point guard for the Washington Wizards, I believe.
I think you've bragged about that on this show before.
I can only brag about a couple of things.
moment.
This is the one I like to brag about. But, like I say, he makes millions, and but I still get to brag that I hit a home run off of him. And then number 4 on that list, when I lived in downtown Minneapolis, the Timberwolves were in the play-in game in the playoffs, or to make the playoffs. And so Los Angeles was in town, and the Dodgers were playing the Twins, and then the Clippers played the Wolves, and the Wolves won.
Oh my gosh.
Also an unbelievable environment. And then number 5, my buddy Gavin, his wedding was the same day as the Vikings' 33-0 comeback against the Colts. And so when the wedding started, we were in bad spirits. And then when the wedding got done, we went to the bar and watched them complete that comeback. So
how awesome.
Special moments there. Hey, coming up, we're talking about the Duluth Home Show. That's this weekend.
Welcome back, everybody. Thursday marked the first day of the 56th annual Arrowhead Home and Builder Show. It's also the largest home show in the Arrowhead region. Pretty impressive, offering everything for building and remodeling, as well as products for your home and garden. The show runs through Sunday over at the deck.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love going to this one, especially. The boat show is cool, but I don't have a cabin. I don't have a house on the lake. I don't really have access to water. I mean, I do, of course, living in here, but
you don't want to park a big old boat in your driveway?
My driveway doesn't quite have room for a boat. Hopefully someday. But this one's a little bit more relatable because, it's always fun to walk around and look for things to do, little projects at your house. So I think I'm going to be traipsing around in between my shift. I might leave you the booth for you to man, and then I'll.
That's totally fine. But do you, Matt, do a lot of gardening at home?
I do a lot of gardening with my mom. She really enjoys planting flowers and such. So she comes over and helps me do my window boxes every year and a little thing on my patio too, or front porch thing. So I need to though get a little bit better at gardening in our backyard because we have a nice little plot. It's got a lot of rhubarb in it too, which is cool, but it needs to be weeded out. So I got to do that.
Well, you got to put plants underneath those lights you have in the backyard.
It's true. I'm glad Hunter's not here to once again rip Matt about his lights, but those need to come down soon too. So there's a spring project. Maybe they have a tool for that at the home show.
I think the most I know about gardening is my mom has hostas at home, so I always hear about hostas.
Do the deer? Does she get mad about the deer
eat the
eating?
hostas.
Oh,
yeah. So you got to pour the slug the slug thing on it?
I've heard of that.
Yeah. So that's the extent of my gardening knowledge. I know dandelions, sunflowers, those types of things. So, huge gardening guy.
Yeah.
So maybe I can learn a thing or two coming up this weekend at the deck. So if you are in town and you got nothing to do on Saturday around lunchtime, you can be sure to come by and stop by the Northern News Now booth. Say hello to me and Briggs, because we're going to be in that booth from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Yeah.
And then you can also, I believe, find Dan Wolf and Laura Lee just after us at 1 to 3 p.m. And then news director and noon anchor Paula Brown will be with my fellow 4 p.m. co-anchor Kendall Jarbo from 3 to 5.
Cool. We usually give away a pretty cool prize.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is this year.
I can't remember what it is, but I know too. I've seen Bob the Builder face paint is going to be at the.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to get some Bob the Builder face paint and a parakeet landing.
Oh,
so if you're big into birds.
And Mitchell the other day on the morning show, he tried out the log rolling that they're going to have there, because there's like a lumberjack championship sort of expo going on. He wasn't quite as successful as the pros, but I mean, hey, leave it to the pros, because that looked hard. He like fell down a little bit. You have to check out the video. It's on his Facebook page. But
good on Mitchell for doing that, because I don't even know if I'd be able to be willing to get up there.
Oh, heck
at all.
No. After seeing Mitchell kind of tumble, and he's agile and athletic guy, and I think it would end way worse for me.
Did not turn out well.
Oh, no. But a new job opportunity is open for those who are nuts about peanuts. Hormel Foods is looking for 3 peanutters to chauffeur Mr. Peanut all across America in the Nutmobile. The full-time job runs from June 2024 to June 2025, so about a year of your life committed to the Nutmobile. The company is looking for college grads with a bachelor's degree in maybe marketing, communications, advertising, or PR. Anyone interested should apply at beapeanutter.com. That's beapeanutter.com. By April 14th, what do you think needs to be on your resume for this? Do you need a CDL to drive the
you might need a CDL. I'm wondering how fast that Nutmobile goes. And Seth in our ear says he already applied. I think Seth, you might be too old, but we'll have to do some research.
Old.
It looks like for recent college grads, so
true.
We'll have to wait and see. While Seth's applying, we'll be right back. Hey everybody, it's been a fun week here and we're excited to have you back on Monday. That's because coming up on Monday, Briggs and Hunter here head over to Bender's Shoes in Duluth, and there they got to be evaluated by a podorthist. So they went through the process of seeing what shoes would be the best fit for their type of feet.
Yeah, that was a fun experience, and I actually learned a ton.
Yeah.
I always thought my feet had problems because my feet were too wide. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. The podorthist told me something different.
You learned a lot.
I know. I won't give it away because it's a big spoiler.
Big spoiler.
I'm
big
sure
spoiler.
everybody is just dying to know. But no, he truly made a difference and suggested shoes for me that aren't going to make my feet fall asleep, which I have a terrible problem with. So this guy knows his stuff.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Then on Tuesday, I put Ryan and Hunter through the first of its kind blindfold surprise. This one had been mulling in my brain for some time, and I finally executed it, not to their chagrin, as you can see there. After the initial shock, though, Hunter and Ryan faced a daunting challenge in Duluth's Piedmont neighborhood, and I don't know if you guys are going to want to try that again for some time.
I probably won't try it. I probably will not. And also coming up on Monday, quick, we're going to be talking about that big old eclipse that's coming to town.
I'm excited about it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have an absolutely great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.